Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, Monday the 6th of January. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. We've got another storm that's hitting the UK at the moment, bringing some really big seas out towards the west and the south of the country. These are the sea swell predictions. You can see these on WeatherWeb. If you just use the controls down the bottom left hand corner here, you can scroll your way through. The time of the charts is shown here, and as we just scroll through, you notice that huge swell coming in from the southwest here. 15 meters at some point that swell was, so that's 49 feet, so some really big swells moving their way east of the country. You notice how they're moving east into the west of Scotland, through the Irish Sea, through southern coasts of the country as well, and to some extent making their way around the northeast of Scotland as well, and just tracking down into that northern parts of the North Sea. But even into Tuesday, the swell stays big across the west of the country, so some really big seas out there just at the moment. Now, front-wise, this is how things are looking today. I've got the southwesterly flow, strong southwesterly flow, which is bringing in some showers with it as it comes in. Low pressure centred off towards the west of Ireland there, and it's that's driving the strength of this wind. Now, the good news is that actually that pattern looks as if it's going to be breaking down now during the course of this week. So although we'll stay fairly unsettled, more eastern parts of the country do look as if they are going to see somewhat of an improvement. There'll always be rain out towards the west and the south. Don't think huge amounts, but of course not taking much to flood at the moment. But generally it looks as if conditions are settling down, and there's this theory that actually we could be in for a change in conditions, particularly towards the end of this week, when we go significantly cooler. This is how the ECMWF sees things just at the moment. You notice that downward trend looking temperatures as we get through the next 10 days. This is the 15th of January, and by then temperatures at 8:50 down at -4s and -5. So certainly some cooler conditions ahead as far as the ECMWF is concerned. Cardiff looking similar on that, and Birmingham and Manchester. Glasgow not looking as cold as the other cities, but that's what you'd expect given the situation, because what the ECMWF is trying to do is to build in high pressure. You notice here the times of the chart shown here. Look, these go forward in 24-hour steps, and if I just knock them forwards, there's the 7th, there's the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, which is Friday. Here we go on to the 11th on Saturday, and what the ECMWF is trying to do is to build this ridge in here, look, and watch what happens to that ridge. It then buckles it towards the north there, pumping warmer air ever northwards at high levels in the atmosphere. That builds that ridge as we head in towards Sunday and into the early part of next week. You can see the effect of that pump north there of warmer winds, just pumping its way northwards, building those heights all the time. And then as we get through into Tuesday of next week, a second ridge trying to build out here in the Atlantic according to the ECMWF, and what that then does is topples through the country. So it says we get a secondary let's just get rid of that. We then get a secondary ridge which builds in here, and we get the effect of a northeasterly blowing in here, which puts a low pool here, keeps a high ridge here, and brings us into more of an easterly flow. Now, I don't think the ECMWF has quite got this, but even on the 16th, you see here it's got high pressure over the UK, it's got a colder pool here, and it basically leads us into cooler conditions. It's not the depths of winter, but it certainly would be cooler than we've been used to recently. But I have to say, like I've already hinted, I've got a question mark over how the ECMWF is trying to trace that just at the moment. But having said that, this is the GFS ensemble, and look, it does a very similar thing. It pulls off temperatures over the next few days, it makes them cooler, not dramatically so, but certainly cooler. But what it tends to do is not to build the high, it kind of keeps us with a little bit of rainfall going all the way through, so it tends to see more of a westerly flow, although a cooler westerly flow. So the idea of going cooler seems to be one we can accept. This is the 7 to 10 day means of the 500 millibar flow, valid from next Monday till Thursday the 17th. And what we have here or even Thursday the 16th, is the ECMWF on the left. We've got the GFS in the middle here, and now we've got the Canadian that's out here on the right. And what these are showing is high pressure building, or rather heights building out towards the east of the country, according to the ECMWF. The GFS doesn't see that. It keeps us stuck with the idea of the ridge, and the Canadian actually just doesn't go there. It just tries to build the ridge in and keeps the ridge built in. So it's trying to hint at the models being in disagreement, and that normally does mean that we see a change in weather conditions. Details of how it changes is really tricky to try and pin down. the GFS looking like this week 1. You have to turn your head around for this one. Lower than normal heights here, higher than normal here. That's our resultant southwesterly flow through the course of this week through the British Isles. Then have a look further down though, and see what happens into week 2, because week 2 it tries to build higher than normal heights towards the north, lower than normal down towards the south, and it tries to actually give us a bit of a blast of winter, turning the flow into the east here. There's your flow around the low, returning something like that. It tries to bring winter to us during this week of the 13th to the 19th. So the CFS certainly wants to do something a little colder. And then into week 3, got low pressure still to the south, high pressure across Scandinavia. It tries to pump in east to southwest, east to southeasterly winds through the UK, keeping it cool, keeping the risk of some snow across the south, dry conditions up towards the north of the country. And then into week 4, tries to make much more of the Scandinavian high, puts low pressure out here, and what that then does is try to bring us into a northerly flow. So the CFS really is trying to go for winter. I have to say, not entirely convinced, not sure that's what's going to happen, but of course I'll keep you updated on any changes and any developments that take place over the next few days. But you know, we were hinting at a cold end to January, colder beginning to February. CFS has got it on there, ECMWF trying to get there, GFS trying to get there as well. So kind of you've got to sit up and listen to some extent, particularly given the warming that's going on in the stratosphere as well. Probably it's about time we took notice and concentrated on it, and that's what we'll be doing over the next few days. But for now, thanks for watching, and keep the sun shining. Don't forget weatherweb.net's kept completely free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here. So when you come back and when you use the site and you come in and use the charts, it means we can put more adverts in front of you, and it's that generates the revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thanks for doing that. Have a great day and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.